Hello. Alright, looks like we got a game. Okay, just checking we're getting audio there. Alright. It's against Dark Elves. My opponent seems to have disconnected for a moment, which gives us time. I guess we can look at his team, maybe? Alright, so what have we got? A lot of agility and strength. Yeah, good record, not surprising. 11 players, lots and lots of dodge. Mate, this is a nice team. I would have a lot of fun with this team. That blitzer is, oof. Yeah, this is a good old team. I don't know what's happening there. Let's see, I'm assuming they're back here. Yeah, nice mix of skills and stat ups, so it's going to be tough. But let's see what they do. Sorry, just trying to make sure I'm all set up. Okay, let's see, 230. We don't have any nasty options. If we were Dark Elves, we'd probably bring that Tackle Mighty Blow guy. But as we're not... let's have a quick look at our team. Yeah, we are under-equipped to deal with this. We do have a tackle. Don't have a Mighty Blow and don't have a way to get any. We got one tackler in Moranion, who also has a strength 4. It doesn't have dodge though, so he might get taken down. Probably a solid option though. He would use our entire budget. I suppose, seeing as they have tackle Mighty Blow anyway, he's not a bad choice. He's done well for us before. Let's try him. See how we do here. Yeah, it could be a tough one. That skips us through the intro there as well. I don't know if there's some connection issues on our end or their end. On the plus side, we don't have to choose if we're attacking or defending, so there is that. Alright, we're defending. Nice. So what have we got on the bench? We've got our guard, of course. So I think this is one of those situations where we leave a catcher off. Gotta love how it sets us up for an offensive drive on defense. Okay, this is a little tricky because I don't know who I want to put on the front line here. I guess we're going to put our thrower on there. He's weirdly not as essential as some other portions of our team. Yeah, this is a dangerous team to come up against here. I am usually on the other side of this. And Dark Elves are just overall, to me at least, a better team. So I could see this being a tough one. They got good results, so I assume they're a decent player. Lots of dodge in the team as well. Yeah, very solid. This guy and this guy are going to be great. And here's the thing. So obviously their team value was a little higher than ours. You know what? In fact, I mean, well, they've got the 4 stat ups. They've got some really nicely rounded blitzers. All of their blitzers are good. Okay, that's not a huge deal. You know, as far as I can tell. This is making me want to play Dark Elves again. Yeah, see, they're not getting anything huge out of this. They can move people up if they want, but they already have as many blocks as they're going to get. The only reason I guess you potentially move guys up is to maybe get secondary blocks more easily. They don't have guard, that's the one thing they're missing. Oh, straight in there. So what's she got? She's got wrestle. So it'd be interesting to see if they hand off, because obviously that's a unfortunate combo there. Going after the thrower. Fell for my little plan. Okay, I'm enjoying the pushes though. I'll take as many of those as they want to give before they start knocking us over. Yeah, the movement 5 blodge lineman is not really a big deal. You just put him on the line most of the time. Pretty aggressive play considering there is somewhat of a route to the witch. It's kind of aggressive going with these guys. So, you know, that's a potential lifeline that I'm seeing, is that they are going for these blocks before kind of securing the ball fully. So just moving that guy up there, I think I'd have done before I made these blocks. Probably would have moved some of these guys around as well. I wonder if she's probably gonna hand off to this guy or throw it to this guy, try and get the extra. Yeah, they do want to level her up. Oh, they might hand off to her and then she will throw. That's my prediction. So if they want to make it safe, this guy moves back here. She moves back here, hands off, and then they throw back to him. And it's all relatively safe. If they want to do that. I'll probably let that go. Bit risky with our agility 5 here. Yeah, that's probably more sensible. So reroll used first turn is nice for us, because that was not necessary. Very nice. We'll follow on that. Lovely. Do we go after this guy? I mean, he's the most dangerous of the bunch. really have a good... I guess I go after him with this guy. Okay, nice. Ooh, would have been nice to get something harder there, but I mean, not going to complain too much, honestly. Yeah, you can stay there. See if they come this way, if they... Okay, he didn't fall over. So, I think we'll leave it there. See what they do. Might go after Moranium. If they can get him out, that's 230k down the drain. But on the other hand, you know, he's not actually on our team, so I suppose there's that going for this trade here. We could look to foul this guy. We'll see how well they protect him here. It would be a bold move because we'd have to get guys around the side, and then you'd probably want at least a couple of people on him to get a foul. It would be quite the statement of intent, though. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Of course we won't knock him over now, and we'll give away an extra block and probably get surfed, and all sorts of problems could arise from this. Okay, we knocked him over. That's nice. Can I get this guy over here? Yeah. So that's 42. I think if this guy is here... I'm never sure about this. 58, okay, so it does help. That's what I thought, but I don't foul enough to really be good at this. So he's got an extra square if he needs it, so let's move you up to here. Move you to here. Move you to here. Okay, here's my first regret incoming. Well, there you go. This is what we get for playing against type. So now we're down a guy. Left him there because he doesn't want to push him into here. Now he's got to make a choice. I got him. Oh dear. Okay, well. It's funny how a couple of little things can kind of go... suddenly change the dynamic of the game. And I'd say that's a big change. I think he would take getting one guy out and one guy KO'd at this point, especially our sidestepper. So we've suddenly gone from kind of a good defensive position to probably struggling to stop him scoring here. I still feel like maybe there's a chance because I'm seeing a couple of slightly suboptimal things. For instance, could have moved this guy before doing those blocks. Also, whatever it was that happened a minute ago that I've already forgotten. We would, in fairness, we were doing that foul because we know we have two guys on the bench. And if we get this guy out, we save ourselves a whole game's worth of pain. Trying to decide what we're doing now. I think what we're doing is this. Bit of a restructure. Yeah, that works. They're going to push this way by the looks of it. I mean, it gets them away from our tacklers. Don't know if it's if Twitch is being weird, but my chat is constantly on a reconnecting thing, so I can't see it. Let's try logging again. Is there a refresh? No. Okay, let's delete it. Not delete it, but so what's the plan here? I presume they're going to come... It looks like they wanted to come through here, maybe? Yeah, imagine if that foul had gone well and we had, like, KO'd or taken this guy out of the game. How much better of a position we'd be in. That's the sort of huge swing on fouling. Okay, so just going for this guy. It's fair enough. Now she'll kind of be stuck for dodging unless she takes him out. Well, no, she can push him here and then go out this way. Yeah, really unfortunate we got carried with this guy as well, because I'd love to get him up and in. Yeah, did he just move this guy in here? Yeah, he did. Okay, so we can at least sort of hit him for what it's worth. Which may not be a whole lot. What with him having pretty good ways of mitigating that. Don't have any blockers over on this side, which I dislike intensely. Need to get you across here sharpish. blitz with this guy, I guess. Okay. Probably go up here or here. Get another block in. Oh, interesting. Well, there we go. See what they have planned now. We've moved our tackler back down this way. We've still got this guy over here if we need him. And we still have our high agi. For what that's worth. It's obviously a lot harder for us to contain him now that we're down 2 guys. But we're doing what we can with few people. Elves are at least used to trying to contain with this few, but oftentimes you're against more bashy teams that you're trying to do that, so that can be a big help. I imagine what's coming here is probably a turn 8 score. I feel like they should be able to make that happen. It's just if they run themselves into trouble, have a bad, you know, quad skull somewhere along the way, or a bad double one dodge that could change things up, but at least our reroll resulted in something handy for us rather than a total complete waste. This is where you really want strip ball. I think we were thinking about taking it with somebody. I think it was this guy. Okay, they're really looking to come around the flanks by the looks of this. So yeah, bad GFI here could be exciting. Very exciting actually, because yeah, that was quite the risky move. Because we could have popped our guard in here and got a nice 2 dice with tackle. We didn't even need that. I mean, this was arguably a bit of a crazy, unnecessarily aggressive maneuver here. But you know what? It worked. Still GFIing with this guy free. Okay. Oh boy. He's running out of time, big time. Oh, there's just no concern for the ball carrier. Oh, he's handing it off to this guy. What's going on here? Oh, this is some of the wildest play I've seen in a while. How is he getting all this out in 0 seconds? Okay. You've got tackle, that's kind of a pain. Well, I think in this current circumstance we attempt to force the score. By kind of narrowing his options somewhat. Very nice. Wouldn't have minded an armor break there. So the way we do this is we try and kind of cut him off. Oof. Very nice. I would have liked a bit more drama there, but we've kind of made this awkward, I'd like to feel. I mean, it's going to be difficult to stall at this stage. This guy's kind of like, I mean, he can get around, but it, like, you know, he can't get it as in here as he'd like. I don't think he can reposition super easily, so we'll kind of see how he plays this. His last turn was completely unexpected. I didn't predict any of that. And now he's one dicing. Which, admittedly, we one diced one at the end. Oh, he's two dice. Hang on. Oh, okay. No, that's fair enough then. Forgot this guy. I mean, if you're gonna go in, bring this guy around and like blitz. Okay, going for the dodge. Nope. Maybe bring her down as insurance. You could dodge through there. Yeah, just dodge through there if you want to get here. Fair enough. Just a push, so that might further increase. Well, he's got enough of a pocket here to stall out another turn if he wants, but I feel like things are getting a little bit interesting. Okay, he's going for it. Oh, jump up, nice. Yeah, you want him here, really. I wouldn't mind if you fail one of these, if I'm being honest. Oh, this would be a nice fail as well. Possible reroll incoming. Double jump, this is where jump up sucks. Oh, that failing would have been good as well. And of course we knock him out, knock him off the field. Stay. I mean, you know, knock him over. When we could have potentially knocked him out. Let's see, what do we want to do here? This? No. Tackle. Okay, that's good. That's a bit sad. Disappointing. Disappointing. Ugh. Yeah, we're not having the run of things in some ways here. I guess I'm going to stall it out here in a way that I would find a little alarming, to be honest. I mean, I've stalled out in a corner in some slightly dodgy situations, but there was so many dodgy rolls they had to make there. But, you know, they all kind of worked out, so, in fairness. That's not a big disastrous jump up to go for. I'd go for that one. I suppose you don't really want her on the floor again, but I feel like he's got enough guys he can kind of secure this now after that bad block we made. Just went for the safer option, which makes sense. So yeah, he does have a block here, which would give a jump up block here. Could bring this guy down here if he wants to make this the blitz as well, which would further secure the area. Okay, well that helps. So she might just get up now. Yeah, I'd have at least liked to have surfed this guy to get something from the half. Nice. Yeah, maybe I should have dodged him away. Oh, it's sweltering heat. I didn't even see that. Yeah, now there's very little we can do. Our lack of armor breaking over here was not great for things here. Suddenly we've got nobody nobody in a good position to do anything. Wouldn't mind taking one out. That'd be a pretty nice way to end the half, because obviously he's got no subs. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Well, I would say a good half played by our opponent, but I feel like we had an in there, or at least we had a potential in. It just couldn't get things to kind of pan out in the way that we would have liked. Unfortunate on the foul, and I think they got fortunate on that one turn where they charged everybody around with a bunch of GFIs. Basically, we're able to reposition their team all the way around the back of us with no issues. If they had like hit a 1 early on there, you know, whole different story, but such is the way of things. So now we're going to have an uphill battle. Unless they get over it. Well, that's probably it there. I don't think they're going to use this guy. So why did they hand it off to him though? Surely they've got somebody who wants to score more than him. Very strange. Okay, that is good. How much did Sweltering Heat? Okay, Sweltering Heat hit them this time more than it hit us. But it's turn 8, so all these guys will be back. Unfortunately. Now, we do have... how many sidesteppers do they have on the field? Only 2. So we'll see how they set up here. We'll see how they defend the one turn. Okay, so let's work this out, shall we? Where's our thrower? Should probably get you on for you. Okay, so come around, push him into here. So you need to be here. Into here, then we start pushing this way. Oh dear, I gotta get better at these one of these days. Okay, I think it's possible. I'm just gonna need to work it before I know. Okay, reroll's nice, although I think we saved one. Alright, prepare for it to go wrong immediately, because now we want pushes. What did I tell you? Okay, that could be good. I don't think he'll Apo that guy, he's got too many valuable players. Wow. That is a bold, bold Apo. prepare for triple skulls here. Nearly. Try and get this guy an SBP, prepare for inability to hold on to the ball. Okay, I think we rolled our one at the good time. Yeah, we did. There's not really much else to do. So they're playing an aggressive strategy here with... I wouldn't have been as brave as him there. But I guess he's banking on the fact we didn't really injure anybody the whole first half. These guys all come back. So he has 2 out, we have 2 out, including our guard and a catcher. So that puts him down to 9 and us down to 10. Okay, so we're up players currently. And obviously he's out an Apo. So there is potential. But we'd probably be doing it well to be getting a draw at this stage, unless, you know, shenanigans happen. What is he down? He's down... Okay, that guy and that guy being out are actually really, really good. It does mean that they can come back, which could be bad if we do decide to try and score early, but, you know. Yeah, I feel like we definitely had chances. There were definitely times where he kind of left things more open than he should have done. I mean, I sometimes do the same. But I feel like he kind of made himself vulnerable at times, especially when he had the ball over here and he kept running people around and GFIing and dodging and stuff. When his ball carrier was totally open, that hurt there. The fact that that didn't go wrong hurt. Yeah, you're fine to stay there. You can go here. Guess you can go here. You can go here. Could use you. Let's come up through here if things go well. What are the chances of that though? Okay. We get the quick snap as well. I should have gone here. If I'm here, there's 3 spaces that could be next to me. If I'm here, there's only 2. I think that's everybody who really wants to move. I think everybody else is kind of where they want to be. Well, okay, that kind of worked out in the end. Very nice. Nice. Alright, let's see how this goes. Not very exciting. Yeah, I think I'm overall okay with that. So we got one person out. That's a good start. I mean, honestly, if they want to do that, I'm kind of okay with that, because even if they get the ball free, the chances of them doing anything with it are at least pretty small. And we do have dodge as well, so they'd have to knock themselves down on a both down, which would end their turn, and we could just go and pick it up. So, whilst that's possible, they'd have to pow us to make that really effective. I mean, unless we get injured, but they're as likely to get injured as we are, so it's not a high. You know, now I would argue it would be different if they came through with this guy. That's could be worth the 1 dice, because then she could recover as well. So going after Moranion, which is fine. He's our strength counter to their strength people. Now, do they dodge these guys out, or do they let us kind of maneuver? Go away from the tackle. This guy has this route out. Okay, so they're defending the witches, so... let's see, I guess we will send you. Very nice. Push you back. Follow. Let's pop him in a potential scoring position, I guess. Alright, let's see how aggro he is. The nice thing about having Rani is we do have a second tackle just in case Ludsmock decides he doesn't want to hang around. Because obviously he's going to get a little focus being on the edge and being a tackler. Very useful guy to get out. At this stage, we are not trying to score early. We are gonna, unless things start changing in terms of how the game's gonna go, we're not gonna push this. I imagine he's gonna move like this guy in here and then make this block. Or this guy. Either works. Two armor breaks on their turn, pretty good. So we're definitely going to be just trying to get back in a defensive posture. Try and gain the upper hand next turn. There's no need to push at this stage. We've not got a whole lot to gain. So I think what we do is this. This. No dice. This. Let's see, where are you going to get pushed? I guess here. Yeah, I don't like that. We should have followed that up. Push to here. Stay. Nice. Okay, that's not the ideal situation. They might be able to get through on us here, actually. Probably should have moved them up, thinking about it, because they can get both of these guys down, and then that leaves them a path through. So I didn't get as safe as I could have done there. I just wanted to get maximum blocks. Didn't really pay off in the end. That said, it's kind of awkward to get them down. Possibly relying on one dice. Yeah. So they're both one dices, which is good. Okay, that's very interesting. Let's see how they follow up on that. Is he actually going to follow up on it? Probably. So he does have a 2 dice here now, if he wants it. Which I'm sure he does. Are you planning to do the 1 dice? You can use Agi to make it 2. I don't see a way through to make that a 2. We'll come here. We'll back off. Because I can't trust on hitting this guy down anyway. I wonder if this guy will just dodge away now. Looks like it. No, he went for the 1 dice. And the reroll paid off. Sort of. Okay, so what have we got here? Is that still a 2 dice? That's a 1 dice. Until we bring you in. Now it's a 2 dice. This is a 2 dice. Ugh. Oh, dear me. Needed those in a different way. Okay, that's good. Goodish. Well, not what we'd have liked. Certainly not the perfect turn, but we haven't used our rerolls. I'd like to get more hits on the Witch Elves, but he is keeping them back pretty well. That also means they're not super involved though, which I don't mind. I guess maybe you pop somebody here. It's a pretty tight situation, but if you could pop him out at the back or something. Let's see, it looks like he's going for it. So somebody's coming in here, I think. Or is he backing off? He backed off it, okay. Okay, so we get a hit on him and an attempt to move him off the ball, which means we could potentially try and hit somebody else. This will be a 3 dice. Nice. Here? No? Okay. Sure, we'll follow that, get out of our own way. Really want the old armor breaks. was kind of hoping for a stun there. Well, that mostly went well, but not really quite well enough. Because we're in a sudden bit of a predicament. In that the ball is not very well protected and they have an agility 5 here. That would be a bold dodge. Come on, fouling. Don't do us wrong twice. Okay, I'll take that. So he can come through if he wants, but it's not like ideal situation. Might still try it though, he's got 2 rerolls left. It's only a 3+2+. And he's got block, strength 4, so it's 2 dice. Would not get into a danger area. It's why I was kind of considering, do I go here to block that, or do I do the foul to stop her from doing like the easy cut through? Went for the foul. Looks like this might be first, so that if it comes out well, he can reposition. But we left kind of like as good a situation as we could over here to guard it. Okay, reroll used, which is something. Oh, nice. Okay, well that helps us consolidate our position here. Nice. Oh, come on, we gotta kill these guys harder. Nope. Okay. So he can sneak around the side here if he wants to. But we're kind of getting to the stage where we're just trying to lure out, you know, lure out rerolls. And the good thing is if she's the one that goes for it, unless we fail a catch here and it goes through, it does bounce behind our secondary line. We have managed to keep all our rerolls intact as well by not being too aggressive, which is nice. I imagine he's going to go for this still. But the more people he moves, the less that matters. Yeah, taking the reroll because this is not a reroll that you want to make there. Stun is nice. Now I don't have to worry about her next turn. Which means we go for Operation Get It in the Corner. Alright. Well, he's done well because he has survived the fact that he did the slightly risky Apo. Alright, just trying to make sure there's maximum difficult dodging. Didn't take her out, which is always sad. These witch elves have led a somewhat charmed life. Okay, can we get... I don't think we can get a 3 dice here. Because he's strength 4. So we'd need to be strength 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, maybe we can. Maybe not. Not without dodging. Which doesn't seem worth it. Which is a pity, because this guy could be a useful cog in their attack. Yeah, I can't get it on this guy as well, because our guard's not in. Okay, now to face the inevitable. The problem for us here is with his agility 5, this is so doable. I mean, depending on how things roll here, it could be much more doable, much less. Okay, it went pretty well for him, and not great for us. Because we now are giving him the sidelines as well. Doesn't have any movement 8 though, so that's actually kind of tricky. Oh, I guess what we can do is put our tacklers on the sides, and that at least mitigates the sideline slightly, because it takes away the dodging, so... yeah. Okay. Let's see. Actually, we need to be 1 forwards, because then you make him dodge out. You make him dodge, like... Otherwise he only has to dodge to here, whereas here he has to dodge to here, and then there's one more dodge to make, even though it's a much easier one. The more dice you make him roll, the better. So that's why you set up 1 forwards from there. Alright, let's see how this goes. If I had sidesteppers, I'd put all my sidesteppers up front. Which is kind of what I thought he'd do, but he did only have 1 or 2. Let's see if he's a 1-turn person. I don't think he is, because I feel like this was a team that we could have, or a player we could have beaten. The team is super good, but I do feel like this is a player we probably could have beaten on a different day. And arguably I could have been more aggressive, but I don't think you can be more aggressive when they have 2 edgy 5s and 2 strength 4s, and all this blodge and mighty blow and stuff. Like, you know, we could have scored in 4 turns, probably 3 turns, and tried to take them on, but they've got a very, very strong attacking team. So I honestly think they would have just gone ahead and won. You know, depending on how the luck rolled out. If we had taken out a couple more players, I'd have really thought about it harder. I don't think they're going for it, but I can't really tell. Maybe they are. This is more of a setup for it, but they've got to go... they don't have any movement 8s, so they've got to go 4 spaces, which is very tricky. Might be go for it though. Yeah, not a great game for us, unfortunately. Definitely winnable, but I suppose at the same time it was also very losable. I would love to play with this Dark Elf team. They're just made for shenanigans. I don't know if he was trying a 1-turner. It doesn't look like. I don't see how that was going to work, but I'm not saying it wasn't. But I think now that's probably done. Oh, both his witch elves are 1 away. But honestly, it probably makes sense to get this guy to go. Although you really would want her to. I think I'd move this guy around, hit here, and then do this. Oh yeah, you can do that as well. Classic. My own experience, Dark Elves do hate vanity passes. They hate vanity passes and they hate jump ups. He had issues with both, so it felt very familiar. Alright, good money. And the Witch Elf leveled up anyway. Our thrower didn't, but he got close. Which is not necessarily what we want, because there's nothing we necessarily need for him, really. I mean, we might get him cake. But yeah. We managed to out-armor break him. I think we kept his Mighty Blow guy out of commission most of the game. And got more blocks, so that makes sense. Yeah, overall, bit of a weird one. But I suppose in a way, draw is better than the last switch. It certainly could have been. I think some would certainly argue I was not aggressive enough, but yeah, maybe even myself if I was watching the game. But you know, it's always easier to judge that when you're kind of on the sidelines saying, "Well, look, you know, you're a guy up," but with the sun factor and the mighty blow and agility factor, it was just a bit scary. Anyways, there we go. So what does that put us? 820. Kept our loss-free record at least. And yeah, we'll see you next time and see how we do. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.